All right.
Okay, we're back.
So
Joel's playing now because I've lost all faith in this game.
apparently, yeah, that was actually quite interesting. I have never had a run where I did not have the continue before.
You realize what you're saying? You never had a run that you failed as bad as Greg. Is what
Seriously,
you're saying.
yeah, that is essentially it. Wow, I've never sucked nearly. That part right there is like, what the?
Okay, so you guys, I've said my speech and my piece about it. So what is your deal even with that?
Oh no, I whatever the reasons are that you like it, that's fine. I'm glad that you like it for those reasons. None of those reasons obviously are any justification for saying that this is a good game, but we're not technically debating that. Whether or not you like something versus whether or not something is good is immaterial. The fact that you like it is perfect. Even if you could come up with an argument where you could tell me this is a good game, and then you give me the reasons why it is a good game, I still would 100% hate this, because I hate the idea of going through a game trial and error. That, to me, is one of the things that is incompatible with the structure of how I assume design should be. How the hell did you can run across gaps if you charge enough dash?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
The idea of speed.
The idea of speed.
We're never gonna give up.
Elementary, Greg.
Elementary, my dear Greg.
Well, like I said, I'm glad you like the game. Hopefully, it's beyond. Did you have an SNES or did you just have a?
I only have
Genesis?
a Sega Genesis.
Okay, so in my mind, I want to file that under you're full of shit because all you had was a Genesis.
While that is true, I have played Super NES games before. And even when I was a kid. So, I mean, saying that I'm full of shit on that.
No. That's the cynical part of me being willing to. Really? Back in the lava? That's just the cynical part of me being willing to say that you don't know what you're talking about. But you do know what you're talking about. You do design elements and you understand the nature of how to go about creating something. But for me, I could have never played this game as a child. The meticulous nature of how I went about doing things, you should have seen the Legos that I played with, the scripting and the basic construction of rule ideology. To me, this game has no rule ideology. It has no method to it. It's just madness.
So much about you makes sense now.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
the anal retentive.
It's not anal retentive.
A bit.
It's actually not. That's actually more oral retentive. Anal retentive is making sure that everything maintains a similar structure, not a structure overall. I was just writing down what I was doing and making sure that things were consistent. Anal retentive doesn't necessarily have a point where you write stuff down to make sure that it's consistent. Anal retentive is that everything has to be the same. Oral retentive looks for actual synergy. Technically, it's also oral and genital.
That's a lot of
that's too much detail.
Wordplay right there.
Yeah, I've never heard that combination.
Oh no, I've studied the Freudian methodology. I don't 100% agree with most of what Freud had to say, but the oral, genital, anal constructions are actually pretty sound overall. I mean, I guarantee you're going to find people who are going to be able to say that it's absolute bunk no matter what, but... See, why are you expected to wait on the blocks in a game about gotta go fast?
Once again, you're facing the course. It's not a thing of trying to... Like, speed is the game, but there's going to be times where you need to be able to go smart about it.
But isn't that...
You gotta go smart.
You gotta go smart.
As opposed
you heard me.
Gotta go smart. So fast and smart are opposites.
As opposed to going fast. Or are they synonyms, according to Sanic?
Sanic, gotta go smart.
Oh, boy.
So here's an interesting take.
Oh, horse.
It's okay.
Is that actually, as a child and playing Sonic, I did want to go fast.
Oh, this is where we died last time. No, it isn't, because there was a life in the corner where we died last time.
I'm just kidding. I did want to beat it. I do like Sonic, actually. I wanted to be successful at Sonic.
He gets so pissy when he looks at you.
Yeah, because he's impatient.
I want to punch him in the face.
He's impatient. That's part of his character.
Yeah, that is true. He was a total dick in the anime. Wanted to rip his...
Wow.
Go ahead, just talk about the hedgehog's scrotum. Go ahead.
Is hedging nugs out every episode.
Oh, there's the ending.
But the problem is, I wanted to succeed, but I was so frustrated because I couldn't. Because I needed, like, a strategy. It's so strategic.
Yes.
You need a strategy, a forethought strategy.
But you can't
approach this game.
As Joel said, it's impossible to develop a strategy because this game is designed around trial and error. Really? The platform's
not impossible.
It's impossible to develop a strategy using trial and error. It's Edge of Tomorrow.
No,
you just go until you die, then you reset, and then you go until you die, and then you reset.
Have multiple lives, and in addition,
no, I
you
understand
can get hit multiple times.
But that means that you 100% have to play into the fact that it's a video game.
It's like social evolution. You just keep throwing bodies at it until something works out.
Oh, joy. Okay, so we're essentially building a pyramid. This game is built on human misery and subjugation.
Yes. Yes.
In a way.
And I think that I can't play that.
You were playing it for a good while now.
I was, and I wanted to tear someone's hair out.
Some little kid played this, and he was like, I can't do this. And then some bigger kid came along and said, you are a pussy, I'm going to do it. And the cycle continues until we get the
you know what?
Until we get the Ubermensch.
Yeah.
Who can beat Sonic.
I 100% agree that there is probably someone who it can play well. I'm not saying that it's not good design necessarily. It's not my design at all. But for people who will then try and say, well, then you just don't get it. No, I do get it. I hate it. I get it.
I will never say that you don't get it. But yeah, this is something that just does not go to you. This is just not yours.
I think that the thing that we're hitting on
You're literally waiting in a game about gotta go fast.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The thing you're hitting on is inconsistency, right?
Yes, that is also.
The theme in this game is inconsistent. He's going 90 miles per hour when he's running, and then we're sitting like zen, waiting for an elevator. Mario keeps the momentum going somehow, right? That seems to be the central.
If you want to argue pacing, I would argue that yeah, you can definitely make that argument that Sonic may have not done that as well.
If this was okay, in my mind, people love that Temple Run game on like Android and whatnot, where it's that 3D. I'm just looking at it from like a third-person point of view. It's not 2D construction. It's like 3D-ish. And if this game had just been primarily designed, like all those bonus levels that you're doing, where Sonic is nothing but constantly running and you have to dodge out of the way of crap while still getting the rings. If Sonic was nothing but that, if Sonic was just a Temple Run game, then I'd be like, wow, this actually really fits the idea of gotta go fast. And then it's all about your reflexes, making sure that you can dodge the stuff where you only have a moment to see it and you're capable of dodging out of the way, and if your reflexes aren't good enough, then you suck balls. That I'm okay with, but Morgan's correct. It's the inconsistency that's like, this! What we're looking at right now!
This is platforming that's not based off of
gotta go fast.
Yes.
Yeah, and that to me is like death for a theme. Oh, can you get crushed in the cogs?
Yes, you can.
Oh, that actually is one of my biggest fears in life, is getting crushed by something like that. And then you miss, and you gotta go fast a second time.
That's okay. Well, again, this is in a way it can be forgiven. Like you
Except
get
for Crab.
Yeah.
Crab can't be forgiven.
And rings. Rings are the best way to keep the game going.
Yeah,
no matter what.
yeah, that's a mechanic. I've got no problem with the ring mechanic.
Sonic is very forgiving, and that is one of the mainstays of a game that is trial and error based, sort of like Rock Band-ish, how it's like a rhythm-based sort of game. Sonic is also similar. That, you know, you can mess up, but you can continue.
Actually, I'll give you that. The only Rock Band songs, like Guitar Hero, Rock Band, the only songs that I really like to do are songs that I already know. The songs, the songs that I don't know and like I can't sing to or I can't really do on the guitar. Sure, I can fake my way through it, but the only ones that I like doing are the ones that I have memorized. So, it may be that the only reason that people really like Sonic is because they just played it over and over and over, and they finally ended up memorizing it, and that's why they like it. And I've never had that opportunity, so I have a grown man's cognitive ability attempting for a childlike, repetitive activity, and they just don't mesh.
So, would you then argue that the nostalgia factor of this goes beyond mere nostalgia?
Oh yes, the nostalgia factor here is coupled with gameplay experience, gameplay mastery. It's nostalgia plus mastery equals conflated opinion. It's kind of like, I wish I could rip the memories of playing Portal and Portal 2 out of my brain so that I could play Portal and Portal 2 fresh. Because the elements of that game are so much better if you've never played it before. But if I had pure mastery of how to do these Sonic levels, I would never want that knowledge lost, because that knowledge would necessarily become intrinsic to my enjoyment of the game.
So what you're saying is Sonic is cumulative and is a skill that you can work on.
Yes.
And that's probably the biggest appeal.
To people who enjoy that kind of thing, I don't enjoy that kind of thing.
Could you ever enjoy this if you start building that skill set?
Probably not.
Go.
Because I'm of the... To me, I like Mario because it reminds me of... Like, I like Super Mario World. It reminds me of the opening scene of Raiders.
Pepperonis! Sorry.
It reminds me of... You just jumped into that.
Yeah, I missed that time.
And now you have no rings.
Now I have no rings.
Oh, you were talking about, though, that Yoshi's OP. The rings are exactly like Yoshi.
I agree. I agree completely.
Well, yeah, but
you need Yoshi in this game.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
This game is just a dragon dildo going in dry.
Okay. Yeah.
See? Literally, my
Ain't gonna
metaphor
lie.
comes to fruition.
Technically, you've died more than I have in this game.
Actually, I challenge that.
We have this on film, literally.
Yeah.
Although, it's quite possible that I've just tossed it over to you more often.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
Oh, I failed on that one.
I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, yeah. Nope, shit. I still forgot what I was going to say. What was I talking about? Damn it. Oh, yeah. That Mario reminds me of Raiders of the Lost Ark. The opening scene.
Interesting.
Just the opening scene. You see Indiana. He's got all of the information that he needs, but he's never seen that temple before. He's never seen it, but he understands the nature of how to go about trying to solve the problems that are within that temple. He doesn't go into the temple, realize that he's out of... I don't know.
Sorry.
He doesn't go into the temple, realize he's out of his depth, leave the temple, go and do some research, come back, solve the problem, then reach a new problem, realize he's out of his depth, go back, do more... That never happens. In my... What the hell?
I completely forgot about that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
You were talking... Sorry to interrupt your story. You were talking about Sonic's hitbox being really well defined. Fuck that. No. I'm gonna say
No,
that is...
that's specifically designed to be a screw you. I will grant you that.
We're gonna have to start over again.
You need
Yep.
some leeway.
We're gonna have to do the...
It's your turn. You get to do all of this.
Screw that noise. I'm gonna continue on with my story of comparing Super Mario World to Raiders of the Lost Ark on the next episode of
Next episode.
Salted Nuts.